Lee, Ethan, Stephen, and Sam are just 4 of the over 700 men that I've helped go from skinny fat to the shape of their life across the last 10 years, all taking on average just 16 weeks. I was disabled for over 20 years due to having a disability where the blood supply in my hip stopped and my bone died. But as of 5 months ago, I've had a hip replacement for. However, during my time when I was disabled, I got myself in shape multiple times. More recently, I went from skinny fat to this in just 100 days doing 0 cardio. And that was all made possible for me and the guys that you saw on the screen by following these exact rules. 1. Cut first. Trust me, I understand. Similar to Lee, before he started, you've got belly fat, hip fat, like too much body fat that you don't like, but you've also got really skinny arms and a flat chest. And this is because you're not committing to either a cut or a bulk for long enough. You're in a cut for 2 weeks, you feel skinny, you're going into a bulk for 4 weeks, you're feeling fat, and you're always up or down in this cycle. I used to do the same, as it's easy to get lost in all the information online, as you've got some clown coaches out there saying bulk because you're too skinny, then you've got others saying cut because you're too fat, and you've got some absolute idiots out there that say, oh, just try and do a recomp and do both at the same time, which is probably the stupidest advice that you could ever get, leaving you stuck in the middle, building no muscle and only gaining fat. So I always say cut first, but actually cut until you get lean. And the reason for this is 1, you see results faster, so you build momentum. 2, you'll actually build more muscle because you're seeing results faster. You're more inclined to train hard because you're so motivated. And 3, when you actually get lean enough to set yourself up for a bulk, you're going to be bulking, loving the way you look. So again, it's a lot easier to stick to and you have that momentum. But if you're still unsure, a good test is to just take all of your clothes off, get completely naked, look at yourself in a full length mirror and be open and honest and ask yourself, are you truly happy with the level of body fat that you've got? If no, even slightly no, then cut. If yes, and you're happy, then bulk by all means. 2, stop getting concerned about weight. You see, when you cut, you need to lose weight, which is great, but people massively underestimate how much weight you need to lose and get emotionally tied to the number on the scales. Hayden was the exact same. Every single time he went to diet, he cut it short because he was a little bit concerned about how light he was. As there's some coaches out there that say, oh, you shouldn't lose too much weight because it's unhealthy, which is absolutely ridiculous. As if you've got sort of fat underneath your chin here, you've got fat around your hips and your belly, you've got fat around your lower back, what you don't like, then the reality is you need to lose more weight because you've got too much fat. Yes, I know we want to lose the big chunk of fat that you've got around your lower belly and your hips. However, we cannot spot reduce where the fat comes off, because if you lose 1, 2 or 10 kilo, it would be great if we lost it specifically from there, but we don't. We lose it from everywhere. So Hayden, in his situation, would diet for a few weeks, he would get scared of the number of the scales, push himself back up into a bulk, just leaving him building 0 muscle and losing 0 fat. So here is a solution. Cut, but cut long enough so you can see the definition that you want. And in Hayden's situation, it was only 16 weeks and he looks pretty impressive. Then once you're nice and lean, like Hayden on the right hand side, bulk for 7, 8, 9 months so you can build a lot of muscle, but you love the way you look. And then if you need to at that point, just run a mini cut because you're already going to be pretty lean. 3, stop training like a bodybuilder. Most men go into the gym doing a chest day, back day, arm day, thinking that it's a good way to train. And I agree, you will build some muscle doing that, but unless you're a bodybuilder that can train 6 days a week, it's a pretty shit split, as you only get to hit every muscle group once per week, and it's a split that Sam used to run. But if you actually train hard, anything over 3 exercises is a waste. You only need 10 to 20 sets per week to build muscle. So pick a split where you can hit every single muscle twice per week. And instead of doing 5 exercises in one session, do 3 on one day, then 2 in another. That way you get 2 opportunities to build that muscle within the same week. Across the course of the year, that's an extra 50 opportunities to get bigger. And this is exactly what Sam did, and he got this result in just 16 weeks. Look, I know it can be difficult and confusing to try and find the perfect plan for you, your lifestyle and situation. So if you want all of the guesswork taken out of it for free. Simply hit the top link in the description. Me and my team will have a chat and come up with a roadmap specific to you for exactly where you're at. Now, transparently, me and the guys, we want you on the team because we can guarantee a result just like Sam. However, there's no obligation, no commitment to sign up. Again, I said it was free, so you can simply just take that roadmap away and have a crack at it yourself. 4, start off aggressive. Aggressive diets are what most people need. Guys like Joe and Ethan did this in just 16 weeks. Ridiculous, I know. I mean, unbelievable to be quite honest. But this was because they started off their diet more aggressively than what's usually recommended. And this works solely because of the impact that it has on you mentally. Just think of every single time you've tried a diet. How unmotivating is it to be weighing out your food, be in a deficit, be hungry, to only lose 1 to 2 pounds at the end of the month? Now, flip that on its head. Imagine you were more aggressive and you lost 10 to 12 pounds. How much more motivated and excited would you be to continue on with the diet if you saw that big of a result in that short of a time frame? Also, over my 10 years of coaching, I've found clients have built more muscle in an aggressive diet, even though they're on less food, for the sole reason that, like I said earlier in rule number 1, they're more happy with the level of results that they're seeing. So when they go into the gym, they train harder and then they see more results, so they train even harder. So yes, they get more fat off, but they also build more muscle over the time frame. Also, aggressive and unsustainable is relative, because if you can sustain the deficit in the diet, then it is sustainable. And then there's the other side of things. No one likes dieting, so why prolong something that you don't enjoy for a longer period of time when you can get the same result, if it's structured in the right way, quicker? 5, actually get help. Can you do it on your own? Yes, but my question to you as a full-grown adult watching this video, why haven't you? Stephen tried multiple times on his own and didn't get the result he wanted. And do you want to know why he couldn't? Losing fat is an emotional journey because you're trying to change the way that you look. So it's incredibly easy to make decisions off that emotion. Scales get stuck, you binge, scales get stuck again, you panic, you chop and change things, and it leaves you all over the shop, not really seeing the progress that you want. And it's easy to get in your own head and make decisions so emotional rather than what you actually need to do when you've got no one to lean on and hold you accountable. But also, if you have genuinely been trying for the last 6 to 12 months and you're in the exact same position or worse, then that should be your reality check. You need help. You can't do it on your own. If you don't know or understand something and someone else does, then not investing into them is literally the reason that's keeping you unhappy. Sure, you can watch another 1,000 videos just like this, or you can spend the next 300, 600, 900 days in the gym hoping to get the result that you want. Or you can simply invest into someone who's already put in the 10,000 hours and had decades worth of experience, making all of the mistakes that you can completely avoid if they just tell you exactly what to do and what not to do, getting you the result in a very, very short period of time, which would take you literally years on your own. 6, follow a meal plan at first. It's true, you should track your calories and macros, but if you're serious about losing a lot of body fat, then not having a meal structure in place will be the reason that you don't lose it. And it's trendy for coaches to preach these days that as long as you track your calories and macros, it really doesn't matter what you eat. And in fairness, it's kind of true, but 90% of the issues that most people have that stop them from losing body fat is down to poor tracking. And if you want my completely free tracking cheat sheet, hit the second link in the description and I'll shoot it across for free. But aside from the tracking errors, more so the issue is that people fit calorically dense, unfilling foods into the diet that they love for the sake of it and wonder why they're tired, hungry, and can't sustain a diet. Think of it like this. You've got two guys, both on the exact same calories. One of them eats nothing but Snickers, cookies, and protein shakes. The other one has 5 high-quality meals. Both of them will lose weight and body fat. However, the one who eats high-quality meals will be less stressed, less hungry, build more muscle, and more importantly, lose more body fat over a period of time, because the sole reason is that they have a much easier and enjoyable time sustaining a deficit. And also, the sheer brain power that you need every single day to think of loads of different food combinations just to hit your calories and macros is just as stress that you don't need when you're already dieting. My piece of advice is to pick 3 meals that you enjoy for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner, and just rotate them when you're bored for whatever one you fancy, and leave a few calories at the end of the day for a little snacky snack. And if you follow all of the rules in this video, you'll finally stop being skinny fat and get the result that you've always wanted. But I'm aware that it can be still very confusing to know what bits are relevant to you and how to piece together everything and make a specific structure for you and your situation. So if you want to have a chat with me and my team completely for free, hit that first link in the description. And what we'll do on that call is we'll see exactly where you're at, what you're struggling with, what's holding you back, getting you to where you want to, what the end goal is, and we'll come up with a roadmap specific to you and your situation. Again, it's completely free. You can simply take that advice and information away from you and implement it in your life all on your own and have a crack. However, again, transparently, we want you on the team because we can guarantee a result just like the over 700 men that we've already got worldwide. And while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment on any other videos that you want us to make.